We're rolling. Okay. So, Malka, I usually go through vocal cues. Well, I don't know if they're called vocal cues, but just vocal practices. So we have How Now, Brown Cow, Unique, New York, Unique, New York. The Human Torch acquired a bank loan today. The unicyclist acquired a pair of pants. I think there's another word in there that I keep mixing up. And then our friend Jacob last week said the purple porcupine picked a poppy pepper as a bunch of peas. I'll have to re-listen. But do you have any vocal practices?
All the ones I can think of are from High School Musical, so I think I just won't do them right now.
I don't know any from High School Musical, so
you're not a big enough fan then. So
what's the song? We're all in this together.
I'm not gonna sing with you right now.
All right, well that's the extent of the song I know. All right, I think that gives people enough time for our intro here. So, welcome back, shooters, for a fantastic Team Handball Thursday edition of Shootin' Straight Handball Podcast with JD and just JD. Joey is busy this evening with his lawyer business, so we weren't going to pester him. But I'm lucky to be joined this evening by my good colleague, Malka Steinberg. Malka, how we doing tonight?
Pretty great, JD. How are you?
I'm doing okay. I just realized that my camera is looking the wrong way, so let's fix that real quick. And there we go. Just like that. Maybe. Oh, almost. So let's do a quick introduction for those who are unfamiliar with who you are. Why don't you give a brief synopsis of your life in a nutshell?
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Malka. I'm a second year at Ohio State. I am involved in a lot of things on campus, but, probably one of the biggest things is the Women's Team Handball Club, and I am a co-founder of that along with 3 other young women. Shout out Amber, Elizabeth, and Jessie, and all the rest of the team. We founded the club last fall, so it's been about a year that we've been up and running. 3 other young women.
Sorry. Volume is still on. Keep rolling.
So I am the vice president of the team club right now, and handball is not all of my life. So I also am big in SASHA, which is Student Advocates for Sexual Health Awareness on campus, a few other things. And I like to hang out with my friends. And my favorite ice cream is chocolate peanut butter cup. So I think I hit most of the good icebreakers.
Yeah. I didn't know asking people about their favorite ice cream is a normal icebreaker, but I think I'll bring that on for the future episodes. But
Good.
I'm a personal fan of salty caramel truffle from Handles. Shout out to all our Northeast Ohio friends. You being a Clevelander probably hate Handles. But
you need to love Mitchell's if you're a Clevelander. So shout out all the Clevelanders with Mitchell's. I'm going to shout out a lot tonight. I think that'll be my thing.
All right. Well, see, the people that I knew from Cleveland were diehard East Coast custards or West Coast custards, East Coast custards.
East Coast, yeah.
I think that's Cleveland. So Jeb is not pleased with my ice cream choice nor my dance moves, but my backup ice cream is black raspberry chunk, just staple pretty much in Ohio between Graders and pretty much anywhere else you go, you're going to get a nice black raspberry chunk. So now that we've discussed our ice creams, I think this is a good segue into the rest of the conversation. So why don't you tell everybody what it's like right now being how you're a part of Sasha, you're a part of Handball. How are those 2 clubs currently meeting on campus? Like, what's campus like? What's it like during all these crazy COVID times? Lay it on us.
So things are kind of rough, I have to be honest. I am definitely one to follow the rules. So especially I live on campus. I'm in a dorm still, and if I get COVID, I go to quarantine for 14 days in a room all by myself. Don't get to go outside. So that sounds like hell to me.
Nobody wants that.
So I'm like very cautious with COVID, as are a lot of the clubs, because the university is mandating us to follow the rules, which, I'm not against. So basically, Zoom is the big thing. But every student is on Zoom like all day. So it kind of just sucks to have more Zoom meetings.
So are you not happy to be on this Zoom meeting then? Is that what I'm hearing? That we shouldn't have done this on Zoom?
I shouldn't have agreed to this. Okay. No, I'm kidding. It's a good way for me to still interact with people because I do feed off of other people's energy. So it's nice to at least have conversations. But handball, I'm not sure if we're following the rules, but I'll just go with it.
We've been having some outdoor practice. Pretty good job, all things considered. It may not be the best, but where we're at, we're doing pretty well.
So I'm pretty sure we're not supposed to be meeting in person, but I don't know how they could tell us not to if we're following all the other rules and we're not on campus because we got kicked off of practicing at the RPAC fields, at the just turf fields on campus. So, we're making do, I guess.
Does Sasha, do they have meetings or is that just, email kind of?
Yeah, so with all the other clubs I'm in, like I'm in a sorority, I'm in a scholars program and Sasha, and it's just a lot of Zoom stuff. And Sasha's pretty cool though, because I am a committee head. I'm the head of foundations, which is like the basic sex ed like foundation that everyone should have, but not a lot of people do.
True.
So we do get to go into breakout rooms, which is a lot like a group that's much smaller. So we do get to have a little bit of normal conversation there, which is pretty cool. Also, I didn't really mention what Sasha is, aside from the acronym being Student Advocates for Sexual Health Awareness. We put on Sex Week, which is every year around February 14th, Valentine's Day. It's a week full of educational events. Maybe not what you thought, but it's still pretty cool because it's kind of necessary stuff. Like,
people need to know.
A lot of people, especially being in Ohio, you might have seen that electoral college map. That's a lot of red. You think those people are getting the good sex ed? No.
Malka bringing almost the politics in.
Oh, we're trying to bring the education that a lot of people missed in high school, middle school to college. So
yes, good.
Yeah,
it's good. That's what we like to see. So helping everybody out in their time of need. So, cool. That's good. So you said you're a part of sorority. Do you guys still have chapter and things like that? Or
yeah, it's mostly online. They're starting to do some in-person stuff with low numbers, but I'm a virtual member this semester because that's less money. So,
okay, all right. Hey, that works.
Not really super involved this semester.
Question here, a slight handball plug here. What are your thoughts? I know you're fairly new to this Greek life world, but if we were to, by chance, I don't know if your sorority has like side groups or side activities, maybe they join a kickball league or something like that. What if they played in a handball tournament with other sororities, like only sorority v sorority stuff, like an Panhellenic, I don't know, something.
Panhellenic, like that.
Yeah, that. If you helped organize a handball tournament, and we would increase our number of female handball players in this entire country by 10 in one day.
That would be pretty interesting. And I think that the one way we could get that, to swing that, it would be if it was a way to fundraise. Because a big part of the sororities, and I didn't know this before joining one, was that a lot of the members are actually super passionate about the philanthropy that each like each sorority has their own. So ours is, in my opinion, super important. It's domestic violence awareness. And we donate to Choices, which is a Franklin County shelter for victims of domestic abuse. And Choices is just so cool. Like they even have space for some pets, because that can be a big reason people don't want to leave an abusive situation. And there's the, you can Google it, I'm sure. I don't remember off the top of my head. Actually, I know I have it saved in my phone, but they have a hotline, which is super helpful. I'm going to plug it right now because I think
let everybody know. Yeah, this is your opportunity for our millions of listeners. Minus
millions. How many do we have? I can't see that. I can't see the Twitch.
We have 4 live viewers, so we're killing it right now.
Hey, Mom.
Yep, it's your mom, myself, Jeb, and Amber. So big fans there.
Yeah, all my friends. Sorry if it's too loud, folks. Okay, Choices 24-hour crisis and information hotline 614-224-4663. I hope everyone's staying safe during COVID times. I know it's more stressful than not.
All right, good. All right, so back to my grand scheme here that I'm working the system. So if we make it for a cause, let's say we want to make it for Choices or like a dog shelter or I don't know, free feminine hygiene products for people in need. I don't know. So you run with whatever idea you support. So we would just tell me how that we would get this to work. We would have the venue through our club, so we reserve time through our club, and then we would charge the sororities like X dollars, and then half the proceeds go, or all the proceeds go to the organization or something like that.
I don't know, because they have certain ones. Like I think there's a dodgeball tournament that's done by some.
AEFI does the Globetrotters or whatever, the AEFI Trotters. It's like a 3-on-3 basketball tournament. I know that one. Yeah. So, if you a little homework, do some digging for me to figure out how we can capitalize. I got you on the sorority front. I got Gabe and Peter on the fraternity front. We gotta make this work, because in all seriousness, we had Chris Licamelli on a few weeks ago, and he was working at he was reading me an article about how gymnastics programs have increased their viewership and in-person attendance. Obviously not during COVID, but what they did is they capitalized on the Greek life. So they would go to all the fraternities and sororities and they say, hey, you wear a Hawaiian shirt, you get in for free, or you bring a friend, you get half off, or something. Just a bunch of different perks like that, and they increased their numbers exponentially and made it a fun activity for the Greek life people to come and enjoy. So, because I know a lot of times, watch out, dogs. Big people in Greek life like to do everything together and have a good time with that. So, yeah, they travel in packs.
Yeah, there's definitely a few ways we could swing it. Some sisterhood event. I don't know. I'll definitely be brainstorming now.
I forgot to mention Martin is live. I did not see the stats. I just based on who was on the chat. So, top shooter number 2, Martin, present. So Mishi is MIA, which is a problem. She's our top shooter usually. So, let's move on in our discussion here a little bit. So why don't you talk a little bit about how we went about starting the women's team and what kind of struggles you guys have faced thus far, obviously outside of COVID. So maybe more stuff happened last year.
All right. Well, I'll tell the honest story because I think it'll be a little bit humorous. I have this very, very distinct memory.
Oh, boy.
The involvement fair. It was like 1 billion degrees outside. I was sweating.
Yes.
I'm always sweating. Passed by the handball table, and I was by myself. Like, whatever friend I went with was ahead of me or something. And I looked back after I passed. I was like, oh, handball. It rang a bell because, did the typical middle school handball thing. But I don't remember exactly who talked to me except for Daniel. But
Daniel-san.
Daniel, he was the president last year, and he turned out to be great. Like, I loved him after getting to meet him and stuff, but I felt so cool. I don't remember what I said, but I made like half the guys at the table laugh. I just felt so cool.
Yeah.
So I had to
You're this
try
freshman
out.
girl coming onto campus and then make all these college guys laugh. It's like, yeah, this is gonna be a good time.
Not to be so heteronormative or anything, but you know.
Oh, awesome. All right.
It turned out really well though.
We're gonna have to ask Daniel now.
If you remember.
Yeah. Come here.
You watching?
Over here. Anyways, you went to practice.
Is it Clyde?
It's Clyde.
Okay, so I went to practice, and actually I missed the first one. I don't know how I did that, but a few people on my floor ended up going. I got my roommate to go, a bunch of her friends, and we all were trying it out. And then, a handful of us stuck? Me, Amber. Amber lived on my floor last year. That's how I really got to know her. Jesse and Elizabeth. I think we were...
Weren't you guys all in the same scholars group?
So Elizabeth, Amber, and I, yes, are all in the International Affairs Scholars group. So we were all on the same floor, and I guess we just got to know each other a little bit better because of that. But Jessie, I don't even know Jessie's story.
Oh, we'll have to dig more into that one because she was a Towers girl. Like, she disconnected from everybody. Tell us a little bit more about the International Affairs Scholars Group, because to me, I hear international affairs, I hear international people, and I hear people that know what handball is. So connect the dots for me.
I wouldn't exactly say we have many people that know what handball is in IA, because it really is just a whole bunch of Americans who like international related things.
Well, handball's an international related thing.
Yeah, maybe I'll have to talk to Steven, our fearless leader. I don't know what he's called, advisor or something like that, and see if we can get a handball event.
Yes.
A social.
We could watch a game. We could bring a lot of eclectic foods from different cultures. I mean, I'm hearing a great event here. So yeah,
that could be cool. I think we got a plan for a year out, though, don't we?
Well, maybe virtual watch party and a virtual eat your own cultural foods. We could have a how to make different dishes.
Baklava.
Yeah, I don't know that people know how to make baklava. That's not. Let's start with like an easier dish, maybe like Swedish meatballs. Like, go to IKEA, buy Swedish meatballs, put them in crock pot. Done.
I will accompany anyone on a trip to IKEA. I love IKEA.
Time. I thoroughly enjoy just walking through. Most people don't, but it's a good. We end up never.
I do have to admit, I've been on a few dates to IKEA.
Okay. You and Jacob been to IKEA then? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we have a few times.
I'm not going to name the name of the person in the chat, but they said, big fan of Handball Guy 93 in the sport. Love what you're doing for the handball culture. Well, thanks, Jay Money. Excellent. Got a lot of
if that's numbers. Jeb, then I need a comment about me. Thank you very much.
It's not Jeb. So anyways, let's talk about some of the struggles you guys have faced with starting this women's team.
It's difficult. Nobody knows what handball is. That's it. That's the story. Right. Just kidding. There's more. It's really difficult to market a sport that nobody knows about, especially when you're on a campus that's as far and wide as, I don't know. I don't have anything to compare it to, but it's a big campus.
It's a small city. It's got its own postal code. Did you know that?
Okay.
43210. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my zip code. That's weird though, because Jacob's zip code is 01.
Oh, it's because he's off campus.
Interesting.
Coincidence?
Well, so the struggles that we've been having are getting people interested. It seems like a lot of college women are pretty content with just working out on their own or not at all, whatever they prefer. But there are definitely a few people, and the ones we have, who kind of miss the feel of a high school sport. I played lacrosse all through high school. I loved it. Started in fourth grade. It was awesome. I just loved moving and it was cool. I get a lot of that feeling when I'm at handball practice and I'm like being coached by JD and throwing the ball to my roommate Jenna, and it's nice. What's difficult is convincing somebody of the feeling that you get before you go to practice. So the way I always try to market it when I'm always like talking to people like, oh yeah, I play handball, like you should come try it out, like it's so fun. But I don't really say it like that. I'm just like, yeah, just give it a shot. Like it's pretty chill. We're not I don't know, what are we not?
I'd say we're pretty regular people, you know. We're not like super athletic, we're not unathletic, we're not like in your face, we're not weird, we're not popular, we're not we cover this
normal.
We're right down the middle. We're just a bunch of regular Joes and Janes here. Anyways.
Sure. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I just try to get people to come try it out. And then if they don't like it, sure, go on your merry way. But we've gotten a few people to stick around because of that, including myself.
Yeah. So I guess that's my thing is I find it very difficult to get a college girl to want to play a physical contact sport. You know, you might be able to convince a girl to play a pickup basketball game or pickup volleyball game, but when you tell her she's got to like basically give this other girl that she doesn't know a big hug and like she's running at her full speed, it's a little scary because we got some girls that I think right now, some new girls that I think they're pretty dedicated, and we haven't got to the contact side of things just because of COVID, but I hope they're ready for that. And I know on the guys side we've had a lot of guys that I'm like, there's no way this guy's gonna wrap anybody up ever, and then after 4 years of playing, they're a pretty solid defender. So, you know, it's one of those things that you just gotta be committed and stick with it. And a lot of people like being a part of a group, and I think that's where the big selling point is. We gotta sell our team bonding and our team culture because you guys have a great group. I mean, half of you guys live together now. You know, we have friendships that are starting that who knows how long they'll last, probably a very long time, hopefully. So that's what we like to see, and you want people to be a part of that friendship. We even have some people inter team dating going on right now. Let them live.
Yes,
let them live. Let them live. I'm not gonna comment, but it's some dangerous waters. But anyways, they're not watching. I know they're not watching. They won't rewatch anyways.
I know. Shame on them.
Yep. They were at practice though. But
That's good.
So what would you recommend though? Let's say a girl who goes to Ohio University, just down south of us. She wants to start a handball team. What do you recommend for her?
You know, I would say probably
she
the
has
things
no
that
friends. We'll clarify that. She's got no friends. She's just one girl.
That's fine. I wasn't going to be my first suggestion. I think, and this is something I was going to say, like, we should probably start doing a little bit more. I think that some posters would probably help.
Posters?
I know not everyone reads them, but, like, I do. When I'm waiting for the elevator in my building, I read the posters.
Waiting for the bus.
Waiting for the bus. Yes. Just like, you know, the usual spots. People are just standing around.
Sidewalk chalk?
I don't know. I never can read the sidewalk chalk. I wouldn't. But I think the biggest thing is just to work hard on the marketing. And that is where we're failing. I mean, especially now, because we weren't able to have the in-person involvement fair. We got one singular person from that because only a handful stopped by our booth because it was online and difficult to find, and it crashed for the first half, and it was just like a mess. So
But Ariane's very good. Like, I'm pretty excited.
Very glad.
She's probably not watching either, but watch out.
I'll take this from, you put this on YouTube afterward?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll cut the video for her and send her the important
part. Cut this part. Yeah. No, her grandpa played in France, so she was telling us today about how her grandma was sending her pictures of her grandpa playing in France. So
that's cool. So cool. Very cool.
But yeah, it's just people have stories like that they didn't even know until they come across handball in college.
That you mentioned that now, I wonder, I should probably talk to my Albanian family and see what their experience, if they have any, is with handball. Because I know you mentioned, a handful of Albanians who have played, coached. Didn't you say something about a coach?
I don't have any Albanian coaches. I have a lot of Macedonian coaches, but
okay, I don't know. My grandfather's from Yugoslavia, so I just kind of all consider my same. But that would probably be like really bad. Sorry, everyone who speaks Albanian.
Yeah. So okay, cool. Well, we'll just need to think about how we can continue to market. I like the poster idea. All you have to do about getting a poster on your floor is go talk to your RA. It's pretty easy. Right. Talk to the hall director. They can put it on every floor, and we can do that for every dorm.
That'd be crazy.
That'd be some serious numbers. And I think we need to probably try to anticipate what's going to happen with the end of COVID. But if we can try to start prepping that for maybe like plan for next semester, like, hey, come try out handball next January, boom, skyrocketing numbers.
Hopefully,
fingers crossed.
Very optimistic. I like it. I feel like I might be a little bit more realistic in this.
I've only been doing this for 8 years, so I understand that it's like a 0% chance of success. But hey, one person is enough to turn the tides. So that's all. It only takes one to make a difference. But cool. That's good. Why don't you talk a little bit about the fact that you played with Team USA on a crazy trip to Canada?
That was a crazy trip. It was very, very interesting.
Now, tell people. Background. Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
A little background for the folks back home who don't know about this. So, I've mentioned I just started playing handball last year, and I think it was in October? Was that when we went?
Yep.
Yeah. So maybe about a month after I started playing.
It was like 6 practices, I think.
I found my way onto the junior women's national team, so Team USA, and I played in an international tournament in Montreal. So that sounds kind of wild. And I mean, there were a few things that led to it, like, thank you, West Point young ladies, for not going, because it gave me the opportunity. So that was just like really cool that I was able to do that. I got my school stuff figured out. I missed a week, but it was cool. Free flight to Montreal, got a couple days of exploring-ish. So it was really cool. I definitely want to go back to Montreal. I liked it. Made me want to learn French. I'm a Spanish major. Actually, as of today, I'm a Spanish and linguistics double major. So, but it was a really, really interesting experience for a few different reasons. One, it was so difficult. Like, we just woke up, ate, handball, sleep.
Repeat.
Yeah, pretty much. It was just eat, sleep, handball.
So you're telling me that the professional athlete lifestyle is not for you?
Yeah, I realized that, I'm sorry, Team USA handball and all, but I don't think I'm going to be making it to the Olympics in 2028. I don't think it's for me, but it was an awesome experience. And if there was another chance to do it in college again, I might take that up. It'd be like, it was awesome. It was so cool to be surrounded by that many different people and not just like the other teams, but on my team.
Yeah.
It was awesome. I didn't even know about this, but if you have, what is it? 2 passports, or what's it called? There's the name.
Dual citizen.
Dual citizenship. I played with people from Norway, right?
Yep.
And Sweden?
Probably Norway, Sweden, probably some Germans. I don't know who else was in it.
Something like that. I'm sorry, guys, but it was just really nice. They were all nice, and these young women had been playing since they were like 5, because handball is baseball to them. Like I played baseball when I was 5. I played t-ball, I played coach pitch, I played player pitch or whatever, like normal baseball.
Kid pitch, yeah.
But they play handball. So they have that basic foundation and understanding of the game that I was completely lacking going into playing a game. So at the practices before each game, it was a little rough, I have to admit. I don't know how many people are familiar with Stickum, especially since we're in the US where we're not really using that, but that's the glue that goes on the ball. And literally you could just like, I don't know, drive anything. But that's heavy. I'm trying to see if I could, okay, my phone, if I threw my phone and it had the Stickum here, it would just stick. It was so cool. Like I could just stick my hand out, boom, got it. But now I'm back at school and we don't have that, so kind of sucks.
It makes it a little bit harder. You have to actually be able to catch the ball now. That's why I deflate the balls. I make them easier for you guys to catch, but nobody wants to catch them. They're like JD and his flat balls again. Yeah, I mean, you, Jesse, and Elizabeth all had only been playing for a month and a half, and you joined a Team USA team that had, what, 1 sub? You guys had 1 or 2 subs the whole tournament?
I think we had 2 for majority of the tournament, not all of it.
Sometimes people may or may not get red cards and then have to take a break. So it happens to the best of us.
Oh, it was the worst thing.
If I was a better podcast host, I would have the clip ready and I would share it with you guys right now.
I've never seen it. And I'm glad I haven't seen it.
We were driving in the car, and I forget. I think we were going to soccer, and Kaylee's watching the game while I'm driving, and she's just like, "Oh my gosh, Malka just killed this girl," and I was like, "What?" She's like, "Yeah, Malka just got a red card," and I was like, "No way, that's not possible." And sure enough, you did. So for those of you who did not see, and we can post this later maybe, but. Malka is playing defense on a fast break. I don't know what team you guys were playing. But basically, the girl, I think, cut back, and you just kind of stuck your arm out and just clotheslined her while she basically... Again,
with only 6 practices of experience, I hadn't quite grasped the idea of, handball, when you play defense, you have to be like straight on.
Chest to chest.
So I was like a little to the side, and she, like my arm and like maybe my shoulder were on her. Mm-hmm. But, she's going full speed. So she my arm slips up and I completely clotheslined her. Like intensely. Yeah. She screamed too, like, ugh.
You got to sell it, You got to sell it. She sold it. So you both only having 2 subs, that meant either you, Jesse, or Elizabeth, none of whom had any experience, were playing the whole time. You were one of the 3 of you was on the court at all times, which was truly eye-opening experience. I know you guys came back with a lot of great knowledge and a new understanding of the game. And I think that that's an opportunity that most people don't get to have. So it's something you can tell your grandkids one day, that you play with Team USA. And you talked about... I
do brag about it a little bit.
Good.
It's my icebreaker within certain groups. Not really, but
it's definitely cool a unique fact. A unique fact. And you talked about having that experience of playing with a lot of unique people from different walks of life and things like that. And next year, as you know, last year we tried to coordinate a trip to Amsterdam. COVID hit, and that kind of threw a wrench into things, but we still, some of us still went. But I think the plan is to hopefully try to do something again in the future. Not looking great for this year, maybe something the following year. So we'll keep that on the radar. I know our friends in Norway would love to have us come out there. The Wheeler family, big fans of us. So I think they would be more than willing to let us stay with them. And they got a new puppy, so I'm down to meet their puppy, Coda. He's a big ball of fluff. But yeah, if you, since you're not confident that you'd make the national team for 2028 or anything like that, would you still want to be involved with the national team in some capacity? Whether that's, doing stats, doing video, doing coaching, working the table, any of those interest you?
Are you talking about like when I'm 27 years old?
Yeah, or now. I mean, both.
Now, sure. Like in the summer, I would probably have some nice time that I could get involved, especially if there were more games going on. But I don't even know what I want to do for a career. I don't know if I want to even live in the U.S. So I don't know if I can really say if I see myself involved with handball. I'm like very excited that I get to be a pioneer on this path of handball at Ohio State. It's really cool, and I hope that a lot of people get to get the enjoyment that I get, my friends and all the other teammates that I play with get from going to handball practice. I don't know. I don't know if I see. I don't know where I see myself even next year. So I don't know about the future.
Oh boy, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, well, we'll let Malka think about her future. Give her some time.
I think it's a good idea.
One of the questions that I get asked all the time is that, JD, you get hit by a bus, what happens to handball? So, yeah, it's a question I get asked a lot of the time. Now you say it's gone, okay? I say that I have a lot of pieces in place that keep things fairly in motion, but what would you do to help me keep the women's team alive if I were to be hit by a bus? I'm not trying to get hit by a bus, but
I'm hoping you don't. I'd feel really bad for Kaylee. I'd have to make her a casserole or something.
Yeah, one casserole. That'll really sum up my life. She would appreciate it, though.
If you get hit by a bus, plans for it. I don't know. I'd probably just do the normal things. Like, I think we were ready to have practice without you because we didn't want to. What's the term? Obviously, my brain's not working so well tonight.
I'm not saying
you wear yourself pretty thin, like with work and handball. Like it's so much. It looks like, and you have a life. So we didn't really want to depend on you too much. I think we still are a little bit too much, but we also appreciate everything you do for us because
much more than the men's
team. We get
a
lot of. I don't know. So if you were hit by a bus.
So think about the things I do, and then let's think about how we can build a sustainable path so that you leave with whatever your future life looks like, and then I go and hopefully don't die.
Okay. So with my 2.5 years left, maybe we should make some goals because Amber, Elizabeth, Jesse, Jenna, whoever else is like my age.
Your confidants.
I think we need to just, keep building the team because sure, we have Ariane who seems like, very,
she's going to be,
she's going to be good,
committed.
Right?
Yep. She's a
good leader, she's a strong player, all of that. But we need more of Ariane. We need a lot of, yeah. So I think maybe our goal by when we're done with undergrad would just be to leave the team in good hands and like train them to be the leaders that we are and stuff like that, I think.
So what do you train, like, you see what I'm asking is like, what specific things would you say are the key components that if you were to hand over the keys to this nice, new car that we have, what would you tell them to be aware of?
I would look to Elizabeth and have her tell them what to be aware of, because Elizabeth does all the paperwork stuff. But I would definitely be able to help them with the Instagram. I run the Instagram.
Shout out at OSU WTHC.
At OSU WTHC, in case you didn't get that. I think one thing I bring is just some solid leadership that involves encouragement. And I think that's really important, because there's like that statistic that's in those commercials where like a lot of girls by a certain age stop playing sports. And so like, if we do have young women playing sports in college, like that's pretty cool, because there are a lot of things that are, I don't know, pushing them to not. So I think I would just probably train the upcoming leaders to be solid leaders and encouraging and welcoming, because, when we get new people to practice, we can't scare them off. We got to make sure they feel cool and ready to play and excited to play. So I hope that I do that. I hope my fellow leaders do that, and that the future leaders can do that too.
I think the last piece that you said there is welcoming is probably the key aspect. So make sure to keep me in line and that I don't scare people off with my typically homeless attire.
I don't think the monotone voice would scare many people off.
Okay, good.
Boom, roasted.
Got me. Haven't heard that before. Goodness gracious. That's why we have Joey normally on the show. He adds the inflection and the pizzazz, and it's just not the, I could go into my commentator voice here and we're talking here with Malka, but nobody wants to hear that. So
no. That's
ridiculous.
I go, yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, Malka, you kind of covered all of my topics I had that I didn't even mention are below my face. Well, really below both our faces here. But is there anything else that you had questions for me, or questions for our listeners, or questions for the people in the chat? Not to put you on the spot.
For the people in the chat, or anyone that's listening to this afterwards, after this live Twitch stream, definitely feel free to reach out over the Instagram. Like I said, I run it. I love to hear from our fans. But also specifically, if anybody has ideas for marketing, we've talked about this the entire podcast, always looking for new players. So I don't think I have any questions. Just everyone keep talking about handball.
I got an idea. Our top shooter is not on, but our second in command top shooter, Martin, is. What are your thoughts about having a mentor-mentee program with an adult club? Like, let's say you, as a new club, you have obviously me as a resource, but say you're sick and tired of JD's old antics, and you wanted a fresh slice of new pie. Would that be of interest to get a new twist on things? It's always good to have more opportunities, but I didn't know if I connect you with, say, Mishi and the Cal Heat women's team. Granted, they're in San Francisco, so they're not going to be able to show up, but, they would be able to help you with any questions you may have, and just girl-to-girl time. So since Kaylee doesn't want to be your guys' coach, I can't offer that.
That's actually a great idea.
Okay.
I like it. The way I would tweak it is not so much of a mentorship. However, I think it would be cool to, specifically for in-person things, maybe have some guest coaches. I think that'd be really cool. But also, we're going to start doing more Zooms. Like, we know that it's getting really cold. Maybe some guest speakers where we could talk to people who have many more years of experience in handball than we do. I think that'd be really cool. Almost less of a mentor, but just role models in a way.
Okay, so a mentor.
Sure.
All right. Agree to
but
disagree.
Less of the mentor aspect that's, oh, you have to talk to them a lot.
No,
but more of like, oh,
like an older sibling that's guiding you through life kind of thing. So
yeah, I want a handball sibling.
Yeah, it's your handball brother or sister. So your older handball sisters. So all right. Okay, I think that's a good homework for me. I'll touch base with I'm behind on Mishi anyways. I have to connect her with Bob in Pittsburgh, and so I might as well do connecting all sorts of different groups. So cool, good. See, that's why we do this. That's why we do this.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you got anything else?
Are there any comments? I
No.
can't see.
Chat,
yeah, I want to know if there's any comments or anything.
Pretty quiet. Alex, my friend, he said it sucks to have 2 subs. Amber said Ariane's the GOAT. Not gonna lie, like I'm pretty excited. And Carly's coming back too, I heard. So we're gonna have a pretty solid team. We still have not played a game yet.
I want to see Maria come back. But also we've talked about Ariane, but we have the other 2 or 3
and
players.
Lily.
That was awesome too.
We got a bunch of new kids on the block, so it's good.
Shout out
Lily's
everyone.
very fast. Sophie's got some height, so it's what we need. We're just putting all the pieces of the puzzle in place here. But in the chat, my friend Alex told me that I just need to stop coaching, but I can't keep myself away. So you guys tell me if I should leave or not. I mean,
no.
There you have it. Case closed. Apparently they don't want me to leave, folks.
Not allowed.
So maybe next year we'll see about it.
No, sorry, you still have 2.5 more years left, minimum.
So let's just say we have a kid. Kaylee and I have a kid. We'll have to do.
Here, let me just call up Kaylee right now. Hi, Kaylee. Sorry, but
oh boy.
Kid comes to practice.
I will bring that child to practice.
Comes to practice. Solution.
Guaranteed. Well, I mean, I have a whole women's team of babysitters. Like, who's not going to want to hold that kid? I've been told my child will be adorable. So,
hopefully.
I don't know.
You never know.
You never know. You don't know how they're going to turn out. So, cool. Alex said I'm good to have around though, but it's just nice guy. Okay, cool. Well, you got any closing remarks, Malka, for our people? They're all kind of being pretty quiet in the chat.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. I know I'm not the most interesting person, but I'm fun to hang out with. So come visit the Ohio State University Women's Team Handball Club sometime. Again, that's OSUWTHC on Instagram.
Cool
so
beans.
We'd love to hear from you, see you. Send your kids to Ohio State so they can play with us. Sounds weird.
That was a poor choice of words there. I face that problem a lot of times when I'm talking about my coworkers' kids playing with me, and I have my white Vinny van. So it's a lot of bad things in one sentence. So we try to avoid that.
I think we have a new hashtag.
Hashtag play.
I think we have a new hashtag.
Or balls.
I'm changing the subject.
Okay, good.
Handball mom instead of soccer mom.
Oh, okay.
Is that the thing?
Okay, so hashtag handball mom. Hashtag handball dad.
You're a hashtag handball mom.
That's me. We need to get handball mom shirts. Remember how I talked about marketing and apparel? We need to get on that now. I bet your mom would
all right, JD, if you want to pay for them, sure.
I guarantee your mom would buy a handball mom shirt.
Should we ask her?
Oh boy.
Okay, Mom, you can hear this really loud if you want to buy a handball mom shirt.
Nope.
I think the lag's like way too slow.
She doesn't want it.
Darn.
Doesn't want it. Okay. All right. Well, anyways, Malka, thanks for coming on. Any other last minute?
You, JD.
As always, good.
I think that you should have like me, Amber, Jenna on together. We're a funny bunch. So. Okay.
All right, that's our woo. That's our woo. That's our woo. That's what we needed. That handball mom shirt is coming. That's a Christmas present waiting to happen.
Hanukkah.
Oh my gosh! How can I forget to spin the dreidel for you guys? Jeez, you better light the menorahs. Oh, well, that's probably can't go that route. I'll have to ask Max on what a level of like Jewish cultural handball related items we can get. Israel's got a solid handball team, so they played yesterday. They lost pretty badly though, but they played. A couple of the guys on the men's side are from Israel. Actually, they get dual citizen there, so cool little spin. All right. Anyways. Malka, thanks for coming on. We'll touch base. Maybe we'll get you, Jenna, and Amber. Maybe even get Elizabeth to show up. We can have we'll get all five of you in one camera shot. You can COVID stack yourselves, 6 feet apart, and we'll go from there. So, Alex said I need to get better internet, so we'll work on that for the future. Can't really do much about that. I already have some of the better internet we can get where I live, so. Something to think about. But all right, anyways, Malka, thank you again, and we'll see you next week. Shooters, as always, great night, everyone. Keep shooting. I have Malka's personal account here, so you can tune in and follow her on the Instagram. I also have my favorite picture of Malka where she did not get hurt, but where she was absolutely attacked by Dale. It was a very dangerous situation, and that's why we tried to avoid having men and women play a very physical game together, especially someone like Dale who plays at 150% at all times. So, yeah. So, things to think about. Try to maybe play some mini handball when you got boys and girls playing together to avoid some dangerous situations. But a lot of times the ladies can hang, but you just gotta make sure everybody plays cleanly. So thanks everybody for tuning in.
Don't underestimate us.
I don't know what that means, but we're gonna end on that. See you guys.